Never seen such an awesome woman. It only took her 2 days. Create a dream window in the wild. Not only does it have a spacious and comfortable separate bed, there are also open-air balconies with views. It even comes with a large outdoor swimming pool. Definitely a strong woman in the wilderness, in a gloomy fog. The black girl is coming in a hurry. Soon he found the fishing boat. Black girls in Mali start cleaning up sites in Mali, since these are all in town and neighborhoods. So, it clears a void between talking. By the way, get them together and start a fire. Then kidnap back the beautiful person. And some honest poverty alleviation. The black girl started the construction of the shelter. Start with a set of exfoliation services for the log, and then we use the bamboo strips to plan out the area of the foundation. And there it is at the grassroots level. Utilize the standards of the Luyang factory in a black girl's slap and fuck. Soon, a circle of regular little god pits was dug out. Put the processed crude oil into the inserter. Begin the installation of the shelter's load-bearing capacity. It is not difficult to see from the density of the black girl. This one is really slippery. Keep drumming on the log. Through Mexican penetration, the black girl started to bring the main body closer. As for the sealing table of the main body, naturally, it is the bamboo pole prepared before. The fixation method is still a sawdust tube plate due to the flexibility of bamboo, so it can be operated and fly. With the completion of the main body's secret recipe, then there is the laying environment of the roof. Of course, you can also understand it as a place on the second floor. Black girl using sawdust fixed bamboo strips to the top floor. Just this quick hand. No single person for 30 years has the skills. It can never be so silky. Then came the construction of the second floor. The black girl decided to make a gazebo on it. As your future recreational area, it also adds a bit of fun to the wilderness. With a protection arranged for the platform, for the convenience of going back and forth. You have to dig out a route on the side. Then insert the ground according to the size. Since there is no space reserved for up and down on the floor, so the peripherals can only be built on the outside. Continue to process the principle of suitable length. It's time to start building the interior facilities. The black girl stands the log and the main body together in his fierce operation. Soon a reliable bed frame. And then you just lay it down neatly. It's just a spacious 2-meter single bed. However, in order to ensure the indoor performance, we're going to do this with bamboo. Go ahead and wall the bedroom with the location of the planned building. The main framework of the shelter is perfectly unified. At this point, it has reached the overall ceiling group. I saw that it was difficult to use a small shovel. Quickly dig it out next to it. Then add an appropriate proportion of mountain spring water. They were stirring them constantly. Add some inventory at the end. You can get the strongest wild chaos. This is the perfect material for sealing walls. This thing not only has extremely strong absorption, at the same time, it will not be easily lifted away. There are even-shaped parrots. The black girl is like this with only a pair of iron hands. The smearing function of the wall has started. Look, there are no tools. But its workmanship is also first class. Continue to process a batch of small carpenters and trim the corresponding cartoon on it, assembled by his skillful hands. The frame of the dining table was soon made, and then they lay it down neatly. Don't say anything else. This is the quality of workmanship. If you pull it down the mountain, you can at least exchange it for the 4 dishes chosen by Haimai is rich in material, all kinds of wild fruits. I often roll around in the wild. If you hit it, he can also skillfully distinguish whether it is edible or not. Before you know it, it's evening. In order to prevent the approach of poisonous beasts, the witty black girl ignites the front and back of the house to seduce. Mouth moves left with a table full of water. The tired body, mind and body are also in crisis. The weather the next day was exceptionally sunny. Today he decided to continue the design of the shelter. You start by sharpening a piece of the log, then knock on the front door, and use rattan to plan a rough. Then you can press the marker. Knock the sharp sticks into the ground one by one. With the constant knocking sound in the jungle, I don't know how long it's been. I don't know how many years it took. It creates a rectangular shape, continuing to pass through the hand of Jupiter, which he does internal and external card reaction with bamboo strips. Pieces of bamboo are clocked in his hands. It's attached to the columns in a very neat way. Not only increases the overall strength, it's the foundation for the rest of the work. With a group of people to be arranged outside, the black girl starts to attack the ground of the contest. Ordinary Liu Yang Tower. The tiger that he waved was so powerful. The bucket that was pulled down was just used to fill the middle one. Collected near the camp and returned to Shanghai. Then a miraculous waste city will appear on the earth. And then we add the burned vegetation. After adding water, it will pass through sufficient moisture. You can get a wild version of moisture mortar. Smear them on the surface of the pool. It can not only prevent water seepage, and the surface is also visible to the naked eye. After completion, use the leftover mud. Step in front of the door to separate wet and dry. As all the walls dry and set black, the sister continues to paint a layer of green paint inside. In this way, not only has the waterproof effect been a qualitative leap, red stone can also add a different color to it. The remaining locations, passbook with calm red. The level is more prominent. Don't say you really don't say. This girl seems crazy. In fact, when playing piano, Chu is good at playing and singing. Painting. The point is that he is still a little handsome. How many men are here? Ultimately, the operating system with the black back capitalization, the three-dimensional graffiti of the shelter is all done. Continue into the wild to produce a lot of grass, but don't underestimate this thing. As long as you put it evenly covering the rough ground, it can not only play the role of dust and ash prevention. Even if you step barefoot on it, it will not be isolated, mainly to improve the shelter capacity. The next step is to bless the teacher. Black girl finds the clearest player near Silverfield. Although the journey is not very close, but the thought that the gun field would be free soon, he also punched without hesitation. Watch the water in the pool climb to the height indicated. I believe that the happiest person at this time is FEI, because after 2 days of running, his new home has finally reached the plane of his heart. Mary's lit up the atmosphere around. He has been waiting for this moment for a long time. Brush an episode before bed to immerse yourself in your career. The old babies are covered. He is the famous ultimate partner in decompression. He can make sure you can sleep. This is the glass that loves recording breakthroughs. He was deep in the green jungle that day. I accidentally discovered an ancient building. After some exploration, he found the gate locked tightly. It seems that a lot has been deserted here, for professional reasons. After some exploration, sure enough, I found the key to the door on the eaves. After pushing away this heavy gaze, the house is relatively neat. The furniture and facilities were not damaged either. Bad, and then he continued to explore the gift. What comes into view is a billiard ball. It seems that the previous owner is definitely a lovely lord. Remove the baffle on the window after unplugging the latch. The warm sunlight suddenly shines into the house. This made Ponyo's mood better for a few years. Although there is not a lot of furniture in the house, but luckily it's still neat. Stay here for a night. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Although it is still midsummer, but the temperature difference between morning and evening in the mountains is very large. Like, is it okay? After confirming that all facilities are in normal use, he opened the window to let in some air. The warm sun shines on the face. You can tell by his smile that today is a sweet. Since today's time is relatively strong, he found a big warning. No protection points have been used for a long time. First trim. Pull it into closed mode again. He's going to clean up a convenient act. To use this method skillfully. Then say he talks a lot. I can say nothing today. This is a very curious topic. Then he found a 2-meter-long fan cutter. Clean up all these hinted plants by the wall. As expected of surviving in the wild for 2.5 years, hands up and down cleanly. Although working alone is boring, but away from the hustle and bustle of the city, in the ever faster pace of life, this kind of relaxed solitary life is the most smiley. After his simple repair, it suddenly became clean here. The snow. I have to. The people who build houses here. Do you really understand? Everything you can see is like a culture. Soon Ponyo found a place nearby. It solves the problem of survival. If you also want to solve the shortage of funds, you can try the reassuring one in Duyan's wall. The maximum amount of money can be 200,000. Just wait for the funds to come back and pay it back. Clear mountain spring. You can light the firewood. While waiting for the water to boil, he also started making today's. Hardly but with delicious salad. Although the food may seem simple and natural, but in such a kind person, it is also a kind of enjoyment. Then the waves echoed. But he didn't want to meet. When he arrives in the wild. After success will close the eye socket, he went back to bed with confidence. I plan to get a good night's sleep to relieve the fatigue of the day. The next morning, birdsong breaks the silence here. It seems he didn't get much sleep last night. Take advantage of the wind and sunshine today. He came to the river to be a box of his own fishing. It seems that this Ponyo not only blocks half a meter. I really have something in my hand, then import the fish biscuits. How could he let go of what was in his heart this time? High-end ingredients often only require the simplest way. Snails eat less. After a delicious lunch, it's raining lightly in the sky. The snail returns to Hubei again. After restoring everything to the way it was, I set foot on the position again.